Hello everybody, Chris Denny with Simple Sluice Prospecting Equipment here. Today we are going to do something that I don't usually do, and that's Paydirt reviews. So I don't normally buy Paydirt. I have in the past. It's a lot of fun. Mostly the reason that I bought them in the past was to introduce people to seeing gold in their pan, where if you've panned many times and you're not panning in the right spots, you don't have the right method, so on and so forth, you don't know what gold looks like in your pan. And so anyway, I've purchased some Paydirts for educational purposes, and in the past it's actually turned out to be a really good investment because at the time, I want to say most of the Paydirts that I bought were somewhere in that $1,700 per ounce range, maybe $2,000 per ounce range. That's about the time that I stopped buying them because I was thinking, this is crazy. I'm not going to pay that much for gold. Boy, do I wish that I would have bought more of them now. But anyway, I'm going to flip you guys around. And so here is the Paydirt. It's in that bag. Some of my personal information is on that, so I'm not going to expose that just yet. But so this is the bag was opened. However, the dirt was not. And there's more personal information on that. But anyway, this Paydirt came from Gold Putts. You've probably heard me mention him before. He's a great guy. He has a YouTube channel that you definitely should check out, Gold Putts. Anyway, he has his own brand here. You can go to goldputts.com and you can buy Paydirt with guaranteed amounts. Let me zoom out here a little bit. Guaranteed amounts of gold. So in this case, here you go. Here's a Gold Putts sticker. That's fantastic. I will proudly display that. So there's a guaranteed 0.1 of a gram in here, and this is $10. So it was a few bucks for shipping. Its ROI is I'm gonna say probably close to that 90 to 95% range. He's an honest man. I can guarantee you that there is 0.1 of a gram in that. Today most of this material looks pretty small, so today we're just gonna use the kitchen strainer classifier. I know most of the gold that he gets is relatively small in size, but we'll see. We'll pan both of them out. I have a panning station. There's the scale that we will be using. This is you can see the brand there, and this goes down to 0.000 of a gram, and I need that because all the gold that I get's really tiny. So you can see I'm in the middle of a little bit of production run here. I'm making 7 6x24 sluice boxes. My website, simplesluiceprospectingequipment.com, currently has no 6x24s on it. Same with my eBay. So sales kind of slowed down a little bit, which for me was really nice because I was able to catch up on some things around the farm. You can see my rack there where I keep my 6x24s is empty. Anyway, it was time to make some sluice boxes and some weight plates, which have worked out really good, by the way. Everybody that has purchased them that I've spoken with really likes them. And most people that come to my shop to purchase a sluice box end up leaving with one of those just because of how convenient and inexpensive they are. So anyway, I'm going to get you up on the tripod and we are going to classify this stuff out. Okie dokie. We're going to just go ahead and dunk that guy in the water. This material is kind of wet, as you can see. So we're just going to go ahead and classify this wet. There we go. So you get all that. I'm going to try to do this all in one shot. There isn't a ton of material here. A little muddy, a little murky. Guess that's to be expected. I didn't expect him to wash the dirt. Now this is in a Ziploc bag, so it's going to be relatively difficult to clean out, but oh well. I didn't have a good plan. This is my plan for cleaning this, and so far it's not working very good. I'm going to pause this and bring you guys back when that thing's clean. Okay, I got it as clean as I care to get it. I ended up turning the bag inside out. There's probably, I would say, nothing left in there. Anyway, let's go ahead and toss that to the side. Sift this stuff up. So. That looks pretty well sifted out. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that guy out. I don't see any gold stuck there. Maybe we'll splash a little water on it. Okay, off with the kitchen strainer. So we're gonna, my panning tub isn't very big. I'm trying not to make a big mess in my shop, especially next to all the new products sitting there. We're gonna set that off to the side, and I'm gonna set you guys up on a better angle. I'm gonna pan with my left hand, which is something that I don't normally do unless my right hand gets too tired on the river. A little bit of organics in there. I'm seeing a lot of quartz. Lots of quartz in there. I'm not sure if this came straight from his river, or if he has a different spot that he extracted the material from. So this tub, I should start by saying that my welding table is kind of tall. It's taller than usual. That's just the way that I bought it. It was shorter, and the previous owner must have been really tall because they heightened it about 4 inches. It works well, but in this case, panning is just a little bit uncomfortable, and especially with my left hand. But this stuff is panning off nice and easy, so we're gonna be done pretty quick here. I'm gonna switch hands. Much more comfortable. See, we're burning through this stuff pretty quick now that I'm using my talented hand. Sorry, I know that's probably a really terrible view for you guys. See how much less efficient I am with my left hand? It just is not nearly as good. I'm gonna still pull a little more material out of there. I'm not as good at pulling it back as some people when there's a lot of material left. There. Doubt we're losing anything with those fine little riffles. Okay, we're gonna get rid of some water. Okay, let's see if we can pull this back. If there's gold in here, I'm going to be pretty excited. I don't know. Ooh. There is most certainly gold in there. Look at that, would you? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bumping the tripod there. That is some decent looking gold there. That's exciting. That. Oh man, I'm really excited about that. Way to go, Gold Putts. I sure appreciate that. That is some wonderful gold to look at right there. Oh my. There, take a look at that. I really hope the camera is doing that justice. I'm gonna get the view there. Look at that. So my pointer finger for scale. That is some beautiful gold. Wow. I didn't expect that. I expected it to all be very small flood gold. So I'm going to go ahead and capture that. Those are pieces of gold that I can just pick up. I'm not used to that. I'm putting that in my small pan there. Very, very nice. I can pretty much guarantee that there's 0.1 of a gram just right there. And we haven't gotten to the small, so we're going to set this aside. Here is the minus kitchen strainer. There's quite a bit there. I'm going to say this is probably about 50% of that bag was this stuff. So a lot of this is blonde. This is not, I don't see a ton of black sand in there yet, but we're just getting going using my big riffles. Again, if my technique looks absolutely horrible, well, I'm using my left hand. You're gonna have to show me some forgiveness here. Now, one thing I forgot to grab before I got this all set up for shooting a video was my snuffer bottle. So at a certain point, I'm gonna have to pause the tape. But most of this light stuff is just blown away pretty easy. I am starting to see some black sands down in there. This would go a lot quicker if I was using my right hand. So Gold Putts is based out of Colorado, and he does a lot of urban prospecting. He prospects creeks, rivers, cracks in sidewalks. He found gold in like a beanie or something like that. There was a beanie that had washed up after a flood, and he actually found gold in it was some sort of a garment. I want to say it was a hat or a beanie or maybe something like that. But anyway, hilarious yet awesome. This guy isn't afraid to prospect anything, and it's just a good watch. He's always coming up with something, or he goes prospecting all the time. He produces a lot of videos, and so for those of you that like regular YouTube posters, unlike me, I don't post very much, but Gold Putts puts a lot of videos out. There's got to be at least one a week. So one thing that I don't like about this pan is how small the bottom is. It really isn't good for pulling back. There just isn't that much room. So I'm gonna get this off to a different side here, get it off those riffles, and then blow some of this light stuff out real quick. That way I can pull it back and pull it back with my limited real estate. Okay, I thought I saw a piece of gold getting out, but it wasn't gold. So the black sand doesn't seem terribly heavy. Yeah, okay, I see a little bit of, I'm gonna say pyrite or galena or something. I don't know geology very well. Let's pull this back. I think I've got, ooh, there's some sort of a, I don't know how. Okay, it's just a piece of quartz. Not sure how that got past strainer, but it's all good. So I don't know how well, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. Oh, you can see that all right. Okay. Well, I do see a nice piece of gold is popping up out of the toe there. 2 pieces. I see another piece cropping up right there in the center. That's good. Gold is staying in place. It's not migrating down, which makes this a whole lot easier. Yeah, it looks like a little piece of wire gold or something, which is kind of exciting. It's just a really skinny, flat flake. You can see it working its way right on down there. Kind of looks like a piece of wire gold to me, which is, yeah, that's exciting because I've never actually found a piece of wire gold. I've been prospecting since probably 2008 or so was about when I started. Now, I started when I was a kid. I grew up in Northern California. Oh, I think I'm sorry about that. I was bumping the tripod and had no idea. Grew up in Northern California, and my mom took me out and my brother with a friend to the Yuba River. And that I was, well, yeah, I was probably about 10 years old. There's a nice flake right there. I was probably about 10 years old, and he was running a dredge. He was very serious about it. I think he was forced into some sort of early retirement, and there was a lawsuit involved. Anyway, his name was Frank. I'll never forget that guy. He let me and my brother pan some of his tailings, and he taught us how to pan, and he had great patience just to deal with us in general. And that was the first time I ever saw gold, and it definitely left an impression on me, and I never forgot that. I never will. So that's a really nice looking gold there, guys. Not bad at all. There wasn't really any, unless I missed it, there wasn't any really, really fine micro gold. There's a few really tiny spots in there, but nothing that I would call, real true flower gold. These are decent sized little flood gold flakes, and that's just fantastic. I'm gonna get this I'm gonna get this stuff dried up, and we're gonna throw it on the scale. Okay, guys. Well, see if I can get this up close enough and see if it will focus. It is probably not going to focus for me. Come on. Okay, well, I'm really sorry about that. I apologize. There are those 2 pieces of gold. Please focus. Okay, I'm not going to sit there and confuse your brain all day. Those 2 pieces are very coarse. I mean, they look like they were just straight off of the quartz, and so that's cool. I don't see that type of gold very often. The only time I see it is when I buy Paydirt. So here we're gonna go ahead and tear the scale out. Okay. Can you guys see that? Okay. Let's make sure. No, you can't. Scooch Scooch. Okay, you can read that. Now let's tear that out. And then let's see if Gold Putz is going to live up to his... Oh yeah, he did. He even did one better. 7 milligrams over what was promised. So that is just fantastic. Very excited about that. Gold. I will add that to my vial. I have a vial of gold that is from Paydirt's other gold that I didn't actually prospect myself. And then I have my own vial from my, my personal prospecting adventures. Yeah, so this is exciting. Anyway, thanks a lot, Gold Putz. I appreciate you, man. Morgan is his actual name. Morgan, you're a good man. I appreciate you. Y'all take good care. We'll catch you on the next video.